Almost everybody I know is feeling the pressure. They're feeling the chaos. They're feeling the divisions and all of the different things that are just so real to us today. If you go back a couple thousand years, that we are changing more every year than people did in an entire lifetime. Think about the kinds of changes that are happening. I look at socially, look at politically, look at ideas. Think about just the whole woke movement. Things that were totally acceptable 5 years ago, now you're considered to be this awful person if you speak a phrase in a certain way, and 5 years ago it was perfectly fine. Think about the degree of change that is happening, and it's not too hard to understand that, life today is really tough. On top of that, I want to throw in a concept that I talk about a lot in addiction and frankly just about everywhere that I teach, which is the idea of normal. And I believe your conscience, that part of you that has a sense of right and a sense of wrong, your conscience is significantly built around the idea of what is normal. Whatever is normal over a period of time, I do this, I repeat this, I repeat this, I repeat this. After a while, that repetition causes us to feel like that thing that is normal is actually what is right. And we are conscience people. So at that point, if I'm changing and I'm changing rapidly, there's going to be this inner uneasiness that is continually saying, something's not right, that's not right. How can we be doing this? And then you have the idea part of it. When an idea is taught with a moralistic overtone, then that also adds to the whole idea of conscience. So now you have people screaming, and that's literally what's happening. You have people screaming right and wrong types of tones, and woke this or not woke this, and you have all of these different tensions going on at the same time where everybody's competing for that moral voice of right and wrong and high ground, and all of this competition's going on. So now we're not just dealing with change. Change in and of itself would be enough to drive us batty, but you're dealing with that conscience and that sense of right and wrong, and then you're throwing in moralistic overtones, and we're doing all of these changes at such a rapid pace. It's no wonder that we're all about half psychotic right now, because the kinds of pressures and the pushes and the pulls and everything that's going on at the speed at which it's going, we're simply not designed for that kind of change in that kind of manner. So how do I live in this world? Well, the first thing is you take a deep breath. Second thing that I'm going to tell you is don't lay down, roll over, play dead, hand off all of these different things that are coming down the pike. I mean, if you're trying to keep up and stay woke and stay on top of things and change with the times, it will drive you crazy. You have to look back and hang on to the things that need to be held onto. And of course, those of us as believers, we've got something, and that's called the Word of God. We have an anchor. We have a place that we can turn to, that our right and wrong doesn't shift like the sand. And so we look at some of the trends that have been going on, and we're able to say, no, I can't go with that. Even if it means that I'm going to be looked down on, or even if someone's going to speak to me moralistically in a way that they're looking down on me and they're telling me that you're wrong, and how can you think this, and how can you believe this? We've got something that's solid. And so that's really, really significant. But more than ideas, we also need people who are solid. Who do you have in your life who they're stable, they're a rock, they're not going here, they're not going there, they're not shifting with the winds. They're somewhat predictable in terms of their responses, and they're truly walking in love, and they're walking in a way that there's a solidness there. See, I need that in my life. I need some anchors. I've got an anchor in the Word of God. I've hopefully got an anchor in the grace of God where I experience the presence of God and the love of God. And I can get an anchor in people around me who are solid. Now that's a problem. Because in today's world, with all of the changes and with broken families and broken relationships and everything that's going on there, it's harder and harder to find that solid person, that especially a solid person who is a man of God or a woman of God. If you can find those people, they are a treasure in today's world. Get a hold of them to the best that you can, and of course, don't choke them. They're going to need to be giving love and life a lot of different directions, and so you've got to be able to understand that, and there's got to be a patience there. And don't just hang on to one, develop as many as you can. And even better yet, I believe in the power of small group. I believe in the power of community. Get several of you together and interact together in a way where you're supporting one another. And it's not all dependent on one man of God who's propping everything up, one woman of God who's propping everything up. We come together. We come together around the Word of God. We come together around the presence of Christ and incorporating the grace of God. And we're working it out together, and we're talking about our struggles, and we're processing some of this right and wrong stuff that's coming at us, and we're processing some of these changes together. If you'll do some of these things, then hopefully you can take a deep breath. What we're facing today, in the culture today, it's just not normal. It's not the way God designed it. It's okay. You're not psychotic. You're not slow. You're not messed up. The world is messed up, and the way we're doing it is messed up. So take a deep breath. Find some people that you can trust. Get into the Word together. Pray together. Do relationship together. We can stay in a healthy place. I hope this has encouraged you. And don't just be encouraged by yourself. Find some other people. Connect. And let's do life together in a way that overcomes this current chaos, frustration, stupidity that is the modern world.
Editing and audio by Matthew. Set design and setup by Ashley. Content recorded live at Studio 104.